What's up, everybody? OMMP Grower coming to you live from Oregon, and this is the O-Zone, the OMMP Grower Podcast Radio, and this is the first episode that we are recording, and we have a host of people in here from the Dab City Tiny Chat Room. If you haven't been there, check it out, tinychat.com/OMMP Grower. And on this podcast, there's a few things that we want to accomplish, and that is mostly getting information out there, answering questions, and also sparking the want to know more and to ask more questions. Because there's a lot of things out there that don't necessarily make sense, and we're at the forefront of this, and we should be trying to dig in deeper and finding out more answers. So, there's going to be regularly episodes of this, and we're going to allow Skype call-ins, and you can come onto the Tiny Chat website and you can ask questions while we're doing these, and then I will upload these to YouTube and on SoundCloud so they can be downloaded as well as iTunes. So one of the biggest problems that new growers are facing is the summer heat, and that is if you just started growing and you haven't been through a full cycle yet, summer heat is definitely something that affects everybody, usually no matter where you live. And we have Fishman 715 here, and he's going to be talking a little bit about summer heat issues and what he's experienced in his gardens. So, Fishman, welcome to the show.
Heyo, thank you for the introduction there. Glad to join you tonight.
Yeah, would you like to tell the people a little bit about your what you do and who you are and what you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, I'm Fishman 715. I got a little bit of experience in some grow knowledge, what I like to say, but there's always more room for more knowledge. A little bit what I just want to touch base with is what new fucking growers are going to be experiencing, coming along board with new experiences, questions that you're so flustered with lights and exhaust and this and that you're not realizing are going to be factors that really play into it down the road that are really crucial to your yields and your plant's health. One of them is going to be the heat. Majorly, it doesn't matter where you are, heat is going to be an issue this time of year. Some of you, it's already an issue where you are. Some of you, it's just becoming an issue. You're always going to want to make sure that you have a nice fresh air intake coming in, and with that, you want to make sure that as well that you cover that intake with some type of filter or a cheesecloth or a pantyhose, whatever it is, real cheap. You can get from a dollar store pantyhose, and it helps just prevent bugs from getting in your room from your intake. That is a very big important thing that most people won't think about right away, because in the springtime they just start coming alive and they breed everywhere.
Definitely.
Another big thing, if you just started over the winter into the summer, people are more active now in the summertime and out.
Yeah, you don't want to be blowing up your block with nice smells.
I hope not.
We'll
learn. Yeah, definitely something you got to watch out for when in that respect. What about air conditioning units? What different options do new growers have with air conditioning?
Yeah, depending on your size of grow and what you're doing, you can go anywhere from like a Home Depot, Menards, Lowe's, and get basic common little smaller AC. If you got a little closet grow, and vent the air into there, set the unit up in there. They're very small. Some of them, all they only need is an outtake. They don't need the outtake and intake like some of the bigger units will need. Now if you're talking you're trying to go a lot bigger and things like that, and you want to save a little bit of money in the long run, I suggest getting something like a mini split. You can install. They're not hard. Most people can easily install them themselves. You can find YouTube videos online on how to install them. Me not being a very, very basically good handyman, I've watched some videos and realized I could probably install one of those with the help of one person, really. So it's not that difficult of a thing to come by with
Yeah,
getting your room down.
definitely, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I got them too, and I've made some videos, and they're very simple to. They're not really hard at all. You know, it doesn't really take a whole lot to figure it out. It's pretty simple, and
I had a $300 unit from Home Depot that lasted me like 2.5 years. I've had another one that's lasted me another year. I mean, depending on what you're trying to do, or if you're doing something like that, a mini splits, those things should last you years, in my opinion. Compared to some of the other ones.
oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Oh yeah, oh
oh
yeah.
yeah.
Just little forewarnings for the summertime.
Nice,
Also,
nice.
as well, with the bug factor, if you do get bugs, controlling them, taking care of them, how to take care of them. What do you do when certain things happen? If you're in the veg stage and you get bugs, don't freak out. Don't freak out. Hopefully they're not super bad. You might be able to get rid of it, and you can still save your plants. You know, if not, that sucks, and you do have to kill them. But a lot of the times, I've very rarely seen somebody that's gotten bugs so bad in the veg stage that they have to kill their plants. Um, you could easily, oh shit, my bad. You could easily go about and get some other, you can get organic sprays, you can get chemical sprays. I highly suggest using some basic chemical sprays, depending on what you're going. If you want to go organic, I mean, you can use there's common basic organic sprays that you can get from your local grocery store. But
Nice.
yeah,
Well, and speaking of chemicals and different sprays,
yeah,
the next topic that a lot of people ask is about butane, and we have Matt with Newport, and a lot of people question, do you freeze your cans or do you not freeze your cans, and whether you want to or not, what does that do to the can?
Well, what a lot of people are really trying to do is get their temperature down. Everyone thinks, oh, well, I gotta get it as cold as I can possibly get it, and a lot of people do put their cans in the freezer. And what it does with your temperature on in canned butane is it really varies the pressure that's coming out of it. You know, if you pull a can out of your freezer, it's probably going to maybe have maybe 10 psi. You got a can that's been sitting, in your house at room temperature, you're probably going to have maybe 60, 70 psi. But butane is so cold as itself that I don't really, do the freezing of the can that much. I know a lot of people that do. I know a lot of people that don't. Does it help with dewaxing? I'm not sure. That's not my specialty. But when you are changing temperature, you're varying your pressure of your can. So if you're
Yeah.
really wanting to get high pressure, then get it a little warm. Those things are rated at like 140 plus degrees, so you're not gonna blow it up by sitting it outside or nothing. So
You mentioned a good
that's
point about dewaxing and waxing, and whether what that did to it or what it didn't. A lot of people ask about dewaxing and waxing and what to look for, and when they're picking up their BHO, what they should what how do they know if it's been dewaxed, and how do they know if it's clean, from the next guy, or if they're ordering online, or from someone on, someone they don't really know too well. What's the best way of choosing what kind of BHO to pick up, because it's expensive and a lot of people work really hard for their money. And we have Mr. Wu from TTK in the house, and he is a extract artist, and he's going to tell us a little bit about himself and how people can make sure they're getting the best product possible. Mr. Wu?
What up, guys? Mr. Wu here. So yeah, we're gonna talk about dewaxing. So dewaxing is basically removing plant fats and lipids, waxes and fats from your oil solution. There's different ways to dewax. There's single solvent, there's double solvents. Some people even use three solvents. Depending on what you choose, there's variants on how to do those. The method that I use mostly is single solvent dewaxing, which means I just use butane and basically I let it sit in dry ice, filter it 3 or 4 times, then purge. And there's other things and steps that go in along with that, but the basic gist of it is that I'm using cold temperatures to separate the waxes and the fats from my actual oil.
Right,
So,
and that's what makes your stuff very good. How would a typical consumer, though, that's in a dispensary, be able to look at a container of gram dabs and be able to know that this is the one I want because I can tell someone like you made it?
well, in our community, there's a saying that says clarity matters or shatter matters. That's a good general basis to go off of things.
So you're saying fuck the wax?
No, I'm not saying fuck the wax because personally, for me, I actually like butter because it's decarboxylated. The trichomes are popped. It's the terpenes are flexing, and but the thing is like when I make my butter, I know that I'm making it from de-waxed shatter.
Nice, nice.
So when you go to a dispensary and you see something they call shatter and it's cloudy, that's probably a good sign that they haven't de-waxed or they didn't do a very good job of de-waxing. Now, if it's there's ways to test that, and all you got to do is throw it in heat. If it's hot outside, throw it in your car for a day and let it sit in the car. If it stays clear by the end of the day, they did a damn good job de-waxing. But 90% of the time, if they're not de-waxing, it will butter up. It will cloud up. That's what I'm talking about. Is when I say de-waxing, you got to make sure that you remove those waxes and those fats because you don't want those in your lungs. I mean, who wants waxes and fats in our lungs? We're trying to
Right.
make these concentrates to get a cleaner product.
That brings up a good question. My cousin Ronnie, he recently wanted to pick up some shatter at a dispensary down in SoCal, and he wanted to make sure that he was getting shatter. He just really wanted shatter, personal preferences and all that. So that's what he went in to get. He went in and he talked to the dispensary owner. And he was like, "Look, I just want to get something really good, something real shattery. Like that's what I want right now." So the guy was like, "Look, this is our best stuff we have. It's it's it was $50 a half gram, so it was like extremely on the high side of things, you know. So $50 for a half gram is a very high number, but he was told that it was the best. It looked amazing. He said it looked flawless. He took it home, and I think he said 2 days later, it was waxed up. So is that a factor? Is that a mistake? Is that a mistake? Is that something that can just happen to any wax that's been dewaxed, or they lying? Is it not dewaxed and all that? What do you have to say?
I mean, for me, in my standpoint, I would say that they're lying. Either the dispensary is lying just to get it off the shelves, or the artist is all about their money. And that's the thing in our community. People that are in it for the money, they're gonna just make whatever they can. They're not gonna de-wax because they're losing weight. For me, when I think of percentages and returns and yields, I really don't look at that. That doesn't really matter to me. What matters to me is that my product is clean and clear. That's what matters. Is like I don't want to be providing oil that's going to be putting unnecessary stuff into people's lungs because as it is, that's our respiratory system. It's very